Happy Friday. In Luke chapter 5, Jesus is being pressed by the crowds to the point that he was forced to get into an empty boat to teach from the water. That boat happened to belong to Simon Peter. Peter, Andrew, James, and John were done fishing for the day, and they had caught nothing, and they were washing their nets. After Jesus finished teaching the crowd, he told Peter to take the boat out into the deep water to catch some fish. Now, Peter was tired. They were all tired. They'd been out all night trying to catch fish, only to bring in nothing. But Peter had been listening to Jesus teach. He knew there was something special about Jesus, so he did as Jesus told him. After they cast their nets into the deep water, they caught so many fish that their boat began to sink. And then Peter falls down at Jesus' knees and he says, "Get away from me, Lord. I am a sinful man." After this, Jesus told Peter and his friends that from this point on, they will now turn their attention to catching people. And it says they left everything and followed Jesus. You know, this gospel reading tells us everything we need to know about discipleship. It involves obedience, confession, and full surrender. The disciples obeyed Jesus by taking their boat out once again after a long, hard night of fishing. They didn't want to. Peter told Jesus they were exhausted and disillusioned, but they did it anyway. When Peter realized that he was standing in the presence of God, he knelt down and he confessed his sins. Peter completely emptied himself in the presence of God. And then when Jesus called them to begin catching people instead of fish, it says they left everything to follow him. You know, the great thing about the story is that it tells us everything we need to know about what it means to be a disciple of Jesus Christ. Obedience, losing ourselves, and full surrender. You know, discipleship is a radical thing. Discipleship is about moving out into the deep waters, as Jesus called the disciples to do. How deep have you gone in your walk with Christ?